During this last year or so, we've seen a whole heap of plant-based companies going through an IPO, and now one more is about to do it. Believe it or not, it's a Canadian small company. We're used to that now, right? That shows massive potential. And it's a company that's actually not only in the US already, but moving into Europe and Asia. So that's what we're going to talk about here on the PlantStock channel today. If you're new to this channel, then obviously welcome. If you're not, then welcome as well. And today is a very special day, not only because we're going to talk about a new plant-based company that is going to IPO, but because it was my last day at work and I have 7 to 8 weeks of vacation to look forward to. So does that mean that it's only time to relax for me now? No, obviously not. That means that I'm going to focus more on the channel. As you know, I'm going to create that Discord. If you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments. As you know, it's going to be part of my upcoming Patreon that's going to start in 1 to 2 weeks or so. But if you want to help me out, as always, make sure to smash that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you are interested in plant-based companies like this one that we're going to talk about, and the chef, the tattoo chef, Beyond Meat, Very Oatly, to name a few, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that awesome bell button. So the company that's about to IPO is a company that I have mentioned 2 times, I think, on the channel, but it was several months ago, and it's called Nabati Foods. So let's just take a look at it here. So this is their homepage. So what is Nabati Foods? Well, if we go into their product line here, we'll find out directly. Well, they have basically, their whole thing from the beginning is that they have dairy-free cheesecake, plant-based, gluten-free, soy-free cheesecake. That's basically a whole foods approach. Now, if we take a look at one of their products, the dairy-free peanut butter cheesecake, it contains, as we see here, dates. That's the first ingredient. Then peanuts, then filtered water, organic virgin coconut oil, almonds, cashews, organic fair trade raw cacao powder. I must say, when it comes to being a dessert, this must be one of the healthiest products I've ever seen, actually, especially when it comes to a cheesecake. The only thing here, obviously, that would make this a little less of a whole food is the oil here. Otherwise, this looks darn good, I must say. So that is impressive. But they're also very popular for their pho cheese. So let's take a look at one of them here, the mozzarella style version. And when it comes to the whole concept is that they want to do as much whole food as possible. And I would say it looks okay here. Filtered water, organic refined coconut oil. So, yep, it's oil again, organic tapioca starch. And then they have some isolated pea protein. So still, for being a cheese product, a plant-based cheese product, it's still quite unprocessed, but it's still processed to some extent. They also have some plant-based meats, and here we have the plant-based chicken burger. Here we have filtered water, pea protein isolate, non-GMO canola oil, and the list goes on. And this is a little more processed, I would say, but there's still, comparatively to Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods, is way less, I would say. So they do have quite a few products. One other thing that I find interesting with this company is that they're actually on the verge to create a plant-based egg replacement. So here we're developing a plant-based egg alternative in liquid state that consumers and chefs can cook to make scrambled eggs or omelets. So I like that fact, but we're going to talk more about that as we move on. So stay tuned. But this is a company that is about to IPO soon. It says here that recently secured a capital raise of $7.7 million following a year of rapid growth. And when they say rapid growth, they mean it. About 85% in 2020 compared to 2019. So that's excellent numbers, right? And a good thing here is also it was nominated recently, their chicken burger, for being the best product of 2020, according to the Retail Council of Canada. But when it comes to the IPO, they have been talking about this for quite some time, already since February. So that means usually an IPO could take everything between 3 to 4 months to 6 months. So I do expect them to actually IPO really soon. I contacted their investor relations and they responded with that it's going to be soon, but they're not allowed to let us know exactly when. But what I do like about this is that there's so much potential here. I mean, it's a small company, but already it's actually moving into both Asia and Europe. But at this moment, it is actually already at 700 stores in North America. Now, compare that with the Very Good Food Company, which is starting to become larger and larger. At this moment, or a couple months ago, anyways, we don't know as of yet, they were about 300 stores where they had their products, right? That's going to change now. We're probably going to see around 3,000 stores before the end of the year, as they've said themselves. But still, being a small company that hasn't even IPO'd, already at 700 stores in North America alone, and now their signature cheesecake is going to be available in some places in Hong Kong, the Virgin Islands, and Hawaii. So impressive, but also that it is actually moving in to Europe and beginning then with Portugal and Spain. I think that's impressive also, because we know, like the Very Good Food Company, like the chef, the tattoo chef, they're making deals now to moving on more and more into Europe, right? Especially the chef, which is already in England or the UK. They have 3 products there, but the whole point is that they're going to move in more and more to Europe. And the same with the Very Good Food Company. But this little Nabati Foods is already there. So very interesting. That's something we need to follow up, right? But they're making deals all over the place, right? Just a few months ago, they actually made a deal with Cobb's Bread, which is an established place in Canada, and I think they do have some in the US as well. So they're going to use them for their vegetarian or vegan options. Now, I made a video about this quite a while ago, and I think it is actually about 100 to 150 stores. Take a look at the video. But even so, they made another deal recently with Mucho Burrito, which is also in Canada. It's Canada's largest casual Mexican chain, and they're going to start using their pho cheeses at all of their 140 locations, which is going to offer them the Nabati cheese. So I think that's really big time. They're doing really well, right? And for you who didn't know it, Eat Beyond actually has them as one of their portfolio companies. And here in an interview, they state that Nabati Food is now capable of producing 1.2 million pounds of plant-based cheese and about 1 million pounds of plant-based meat, with the capacity to potentially continue the increase as the equipment is upgraded. But also we do find out in this article that they have recently acquired or built a new manufacturing facility in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And according to the CEO, that could actually lead to a 5-time larger increase when it comes to the production capacity. And what is also good is here that it seems like their products are really popular. According to the CEO here, quote, demand for our products, especially Nabati cheese, has been so enormous that we've had waiting lists that were several months long. And this new production space will enable us to keep pace with increasing demand and supply our growing list of clients. So that obviously sounds great. Now, obviously, when you're going to invest in a new company like this, you want to know what kind of revenue, what kind of potentials they have when it comes to making money and sale, right? Even though it looks really good, they have gone up about 85% year over year. But what does that mean in actual money? I have emailed the investor relations about that too, but I haven't gotten that information yet. So waiting for that, and it could be that they're not allowed until the IPO to actually release that information. But we'll find out. I'll keep you updated. If this is a company you want to get more information about, folks, let me know down in the comments. Now, I must say, I do like a company that is interested in moving into other markets, right? Because already they're focused on cheese cakes, they're focused on cheese, they're focused on plant-based meats, and now they're talking about egg replacement. And I think that gives them a lot of possibilities when they're moving into different TAMs, right? Now, even if it's a company that does actually talk a lot about being a whole food company or focusing on whole foods, it's basically what I've seen so far as we've saw, it's basically only the cheesecakes, right? The other products they have seems quite processed, but not as much if you compare it to Beyond Meat or Impossible Foods. So I think that's good there. And to be honest, still I think it does look attractive considering that they have join the trend of excluding soy, right? And we know that a lot of people worry about that or have sensitivities. But personally, what I find most interesting with this company is their cheesecakes and the whole fruits approach with them, because I think this is going to be a trend that's going to be bigger and bigger with time. Not only that people are going to eat more and more plant-based, but everyone has a sweet tooth, right? And if you can choose something sweet, a dessert that uses a whole fruits approach, it gives you this guilt-free sensation. Now, guilt-free doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't have a lot of calories, because this uses dates, it uses different nuts, not on all of them, but in many, and they're heavy in calories, right? But it's not about the calories when it comes to longevity always, right? It has to do with if it's processed, if it's too much sugar, and here it seems to be very little processed sugar. And I think that's really good. But again, it's a product that has way less processed sugar, has no animal products, no soy, gluten-free, and it does have a lot of nuts, a lot of their products, but they have some products that don't contain that. So it basically means they have something for everyone. And it got me thinking, what about the Cheesecake Factory in the future? I tried to look at the Cheesecake Factory's different alternatives here, and I can't find one vegan option here. Guys, you guys who live in the US, let me know down in the comments. Do they have a vegan version? Because the only vegan options I could find was either a salad or Impossible Foods burger. So I think that could be some interesting possibilities there, right? I mean, people who come to the Cheesecake Factory who are vegan, or people who want to try something healthier, right? Like we know the Nabati cheesecake is way healthier, I would say, than a traditional cheesecake. I want to try that. I think there could be potential for that in the future. Be interesting if they would collab with them. But again, 700 stores already in North America, moving into Hawaii. They are moving into Asia and Hong Kong, the Virgin Islands, moving into Spain and Portugal. So I do see a lot of potential here for the future. Folks, let me know down in the comments. What do you think about this company? Is this a company, again, you want me to cover? Let me know down below. Folks, that was it for today. I truly hope you got some value from today's video. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button and help me out. And if you want to continue getting more information regarding Nabati, Beyond Meat, Tattoo Chef, to name a few, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. But don't forget, do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice. It's important to always look into this yourself, right? Thank you for today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Peace out.